Let the bass kick.
Really, it was just I got a haircut.
I feel like it's gonna be a Conrad moment.
Well, or a Derek Savory moment. But
Yes. Whoa.
yeah, big shock to the system.
Or a turtle moment.
For sure, it's a surprise. But no, I mean, I went and got a haircut, and as I normally do when I came home from getting my haircut, before I took my shower to wash all the hair off of me, I trimmed my beard, and mistakes were made.
Did you get a new trimmer or something? You just weren't used to it?
No, it was just a fine. It was one of those things where it's like the more you get into it, where it's like the more you get into it, you start noticing things, and you're that's maybe I should do something about that. So
people couldn't see that on my face.
yeah. Anyway, lately I've been having this thing where the hairs on the very top of my mustache have been sticking up into my nose.
Oh, that's so
yeah.
annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sneeze and I get the sniffles and I'm constantly I look like I'm doing something I shouldn't. And it's been bugging me for a while. So as I was trimming my beard, I was trying to trim down the tops of the mustache there, get a little bit away from the nose holes. And then I was looking at it, I was like, well, my beard is awfully bushy, or my mustache is awfully bushy. I might thin it out a little bit. So and rather than get out the little scissors that I have, I was trying to do it real quick with the clippers, and I'm just like, got the corner, and I'm just going like, oh no.
Whoops.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh God. So I spend the next 15 minutes with just the corner of the clippers, trying to like ease the edges around the grave mistake I've just made, and then
Did he have the
make it not noticeable.
the Amazon for a second?
Might have.
Yeah, it was bad. And then the more
Inside joke
the
there,
more I
sorry.
messed with it, the worse it got. So then in like a fit of anger, I just went, and shaved the mustache off. And then I looked in the mirror and I was like, Abe Lincoln. And that ain't going to fly. So took off the beard and I'm looking at it in the mirror. And I'm like, oh man. And I walk down the hall and I'm like, all right, honey, before I come in there, I want you to know everything is okay. Because I have a tendency to like tell her these long-winded, detailed stories,
Right,
And
okay.
she's thinking something like I'm trying to give her a reasonable explanation for something really terrible that's happened, and it's really nothing. So she makes me say, "If you're going to tell me a story like that, tell me at the beginning everything's okay." And I'm like, "All right."
Jake
So
from-
before I went in the room, everything's okay. She's like, "Well, I can't pause my show. You're gonna have to wait till a commercial." I'm like, "Okay." So now I'm go back to the mirror and I'm looking at it. I'm like, "Oh man, oh man, oh man." And I go in there and she was not down. She's not down. Not at all. And she's glad hair grows back. And, so am I. I mean, this feels really good, though. But the one weird thing that I will say is all day today, I kept feeling like I had cold air right here.
That's because you
and
did.
I felt like I was drooling on myself. And I kept going like this. So it's been weird. But other than that, I'm pretty pleased with it. I don't feel like it looks that bad. I feel like I look way, like 10 years younger.
I think
You
you look
definitely
a lot
look younger.
for sure.
You look like a rock star.
Thank you.
That's why the headbanger.
You're just sucking up to me for what happened on
No,
Saturday.
I'm not
Yeah,
sucking
anyway,
up to you.
we'll
I
get-
really
we
do.
don't have
You
to
really
get into
do.
that.
But 3 words: nose hair trimmer.
Yeah, I
And
need
it'll get
one.
those. It'll get those on the upper lip right there.
I always remember that scene in the very opening credits of that movie Black Knight with Martin Lawrence where he's up in the mirror doing that and then he's like like that and I'm like, well, that doesn't look pleasant at all.
it does tickle a little bit.
So I'm still on the wait till nobody's around and then look in the mirror and then grab the mirror.
Oh man,
Yank it.
Yeah!
that's a good way to get a tear in your eye.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
but then nobody's around to see you cry. So
Okay.
but yeah, what up? 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 Welcome to episode 32 of The Last Cash. I am Will.
I'm Marcus.
I'm Jay.
And
I'm Neil.
that's Neil. Yeah, joining us tonight.
Hey, Neil.
You spoiled my introduction. Thanks, buddy. Podcast fail. No, this is my buddy Neil Finicum. And let me go ahead and bring up his name real quick, if I can find it. Boop. And guest name, Neil Finicum. See how that works? And Neil is a world traveler. He's a disc golfer. He's a plumber. And he's just an all-around good human being. He saved the day this past weekend, on Saturday to be precise, in a misadventure in turf removal that we underwent at a sports facility, indoor sports facility in Franklin. And so it was a lot of fun. Because we made it fun. tell us, how was your experience with all that? Because you had to drive probably like 180 miles, I think.
Yeah, well, that's what I do on a daily basis with what I do.
Yeah.
So the driving part's easy. I'll be honest. The day before, I was like, okay, this is gonna be quick. You know, we're gonna go in. It's turf. I'm gonna throw it over my shoulder. We're gonna run it out to the trailers and the trucks, get it out of there, and it's gonna take maybe 3 hours. I didn't know they were gonna weigh that much.
Super
300
heavy.
pounds. 300 pounds, man. Those things were heavy.
What y'all cut them at? 300 pounds a roll?
Yeah, they were what, 6 by 12.
So
Wow.
the strategy here is the new National Tour Event or Elite Series standards for T-pads are 12 by 5. But, you know, I talked to Sean Sinclair quite a bit, and from his perspective, ideal, perfect world scenario, because there are outliers such as James Conrad, who use a little more space. And
Runway.
so he says ideal perfect world scenario 13 by 6. So I'll go ahead and set it up for you guys. So early last week, I got a text from Ryan Shillette. Some of you guys know Ryan. He's a local at Seven Oaks. And he was saying that he had 2,000 square feet of turf for free, but I had 10 days to get it. So in my mind, immediately, I'm like, all right, so this weekend or bust. And let me tell you, a 13-foot by 6-foot roll of turf with sand and rubber pellets in it, about 300 pounds.
Yeah, those were heavy. I don't think we lifted one off the ground completely. Maybe one or two.
No, I was a part of lifting several of them up off the ground to get them on
I
that
might have been
cart.
avoiding that part.
Yeah, so, I mean, I want to say a huge thank you, and Neil, help me keep this straight, but to you, Neil, who was there, Justin Morris, Mike Hassung, Ryan Shillette, Brandon Boswick, Jonah Cavalier, Aaron McDonald. I think that might be it.
Man, I'm impressed.
But my brain also is not reliable. So if I missed anybody on that list, I do have it written down somewhere. I made a Facebook post about it. And you guys are going to see a video because we got a new gimbal. We got a gimbal for cell phone filming so that we can record video without shaky footsteps. And the thing's got an app that does face tracking and object tracking and all sorts of stuff. So we can do more bonus content like Saturdays are for the boys videos and stuff like that, or remote vlogs and stuff like that. When we go on a trip to a tournament or something like that, we can do vlogs. And we got wireless mics. So yeah, we got 2 wireless lapel mics that, they're not wireless. Like you put a mic on here and you've got a little pack, but it's got a receiver that plugs into your iPhone.
Nice.
So our out of the studio video is going to take another step up here soon. And
Nice.
I wanted to get this done in time for me and Dr. Hoy to go to Emporia for DDO.
So we're retiring the Yeti.
Well, Dr. Hoy's got the Yeti because it does come in handy for board meetings.
That's true.
For you guys.
Yeah.
So, and if we ever have to go over there to do Zoom for anything MCO planning or whatever. So he's got it at his house.
It's just nice to know he's still used.
And we probably will take it with us for remote purposes because when we go, part of our plan is we're going to try and schedule a few interviews, trying to get a few of our famous friends to come over to the hotel room and sit down at the desk, and we're going to set up the mic and the camera and all that stuff and try and get some interviews for the podcast.
Yeah.
But we're also going to vlog the trip too. We're going to do a disc golf adventure video. So, so all that's in the plans. We have the stuff to do that now. Also ended up necessitating me purchasing a new iPhone, like the 12 Pro Max, because the thing that I've been having trouble with, my phone works perfectly, and you guys see my awesome phone case that my wife got me. Thanks, baby.
How many cameras that thing got on it?
Three
lenses.
3 lenses, yeah. Ooh. And so I got the 12 Pro Max or whatever. It just got here today. My wife just said it just arrived at the house, but I got that so that I could use the mics. And so actually, this case that's on this phone is yours now because you have the same phone as I do.
Do I?
Yep. You have the 10.
The XS?
Yeah.
The XS.
So
Max.
I got a new one of these to fit my 12. So you get this one.
Well, thank you
have,
there,
you don't
Fred.
have, do you have the same phone? You don't have the same phone. Okay. But I texted you guys. So if you want to get one of these, it's like $60. My wife will order them for you. Just got to pay back. But,
okay.
So anyway,
yeah.
All that to say, we got some good stuff. We're planning ahead for this trip to Emporia. But yeah, this weekend, we had this big plan, and just about every part of it fell through. The guy that was supposed to bring the truck and the trailer was not able to come because of the weather, because it was the truck and the trailer belonged to his work. And then that was what happened with that.
Gotcha.
And then I remembered that JT Rosenthal, that was the other person I meant to mention, JT Rosenthal.
Yeah, he left part of the trailer.
Yep.
Yep.
So JT hit me up early in the week after I made my first post about getting this turf and said that he had to work on Saturday, but that we were welcome to borrow his truck and his trailer. And I didn't think I was going to need it because at the time it seemed like all the pieces were kind of lining up. And I said, thanks, man. I might holler at you if stuff goes sideways. And so stuff went sideways. And of course, you have that Optimus Prime type truck. So we didn't need a truck, but I just needed to be a trailer. Well, he had told me it was an 8-foot trailer. So he's like, here's my address. You can go get the trailer. We send Neil out. Well, turns out it's right near where Neil came from to get to Franklin. So about 45 minutes. And so he just came from there. Now he's turning around going 45 minutes back. And he goes to pick up this trailer. And then he comes 45 minutes back, pulls in. And the trailer looks like it could have fit in the back of your truck.
It could have.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it could have.
I'm pretty sure it could have. Because we like two people could easily pick it up.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I could pull it around with one finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I remember when you pulled in, I laughed. Because we ended up putting 10 rolls of turf on your truck and 3 rolls on the trailer and then pulled it like that.
And I think that's the only time we used the trailer was for that 3 rolls.
Yeah. Yep. Because then we didn't use it at all the second trip.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yes, huge thanks to all the guys that came out. They're rock stars. They worked their asses off. I just looked and made sure I got the parental advisory thing. No need for pineapple yet. That's PG-13 language. So yeah, huge thanks to all you guys for helping me get that done. I can't really explain or stress enough or too much how important that is. I mean, 2,000 square feet of turf. Now you do the math on this. Sean Sinclair has just told me he would like 13 by 6 foot pads. So 2,000 square feet, if you do 13 by 6, that's 78 square feet. So with 2,000 square feet, that should make 25 13 by 6 foot T-pads. It's like it was meant to be. Like so many things with this whole entire process. And so anyway, part of the turf we didn't even get. There were 3 13 by 6 sections that were held down by a bar. But we got everything else, and we ended up with 21 T-pads. Not all of them are 13 by 6. I think about maybe a third of them are 13 by 6. The rest of them are 12 by 5. And then we ended up with enough turf to replace 6 T-pads at Baby Cane. So it couldn't have been more perfect. Yeah, golf snaps to all the guys involved. And
25.64 T-pads.
I'll just go ahead and why tease it anymore? I did make a Saturdays Are for the Boys video about our adventure, and you guys can watch that now. On the podcast, the last cast. This is the way we make T-pads, make T-pads, make T-pads. This is the way we make T-pads all day long. Making them just for James Conrad, James Conrad, James Conrad. Making them just for James Conrad all day long. Whee!
So this is not going according to plan, but thanks to a bunch of rock stars who showed up today, we are getting it done.
beneath my clothes. The beat gives a feeling, an easy feeling.
I believe in the faith that grows, and the fuller I go to make.
It's funny. I can throw hella far, but over at when I played Two Rivers, I never. I don't know what's I'm over on.
And so, yeah, lots of fun. Not really, but that's the second time I've done it. So I kind of knew what to expect. But you know what?
I had fun.
You know what I thought was interesting? None of the guys that showed up on Saturday were the same guys that showed up the last time I had to get turf.
Smart.
Probably an easier process, though, than last
So what was
time.
the last time?
And less snakes.
The same story.
No, it was a much,
Slightly
well,
different.
I mean, it's slightly different, but it
Was
was,
it as heavy? Is my big question.
no,
what?
they were smaller T-pads.
Okay.
Were they? The rolls were smaller?
Well, the rolls that
Thinner,
we had,
maybe?
yeah, the rolls were smaller than for sure.
Oh, okay.
Because it was another indoor, different, but another indoor sporting facility in Franklin. And they had a bunch of turf that they had pulled out of their place, and it was wadded up against the fence line and had weeds growing all around it.
Snakes living in it.
Yeah, snakes were there. So we got there and we had to weed eat all around it just to get to it. And then we, in order to get it out, we had to have a bobcat or a backhoe. It was a backhoe, I think.
Yeah.
Bobcat's a big boy.
And so we have a bobcat or a backhoe, I can't remember which, and we had chains and straps. We were hooking it up and wrapping it around these piles in any way we could just to drag it out 10 feet and try and figure out how it was folded, strap it up again, drag it another 10 feet, finally get it all spread out, cut it, measure it, roll it up. Yeah, and then that was that. But yeah, crazy part to have to do. I'm really, really looking forward to a day when I don't have to build a temp course to host an Elite Series event. But that day's not here yet. Yet.
Hurt.
Big news. Breaking news. I'm going to show you guys something. I'm just going to show it to you. They're here.
Sexy.
They're here.
If you're listening, he's showing a
They are here. Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful.
This is why you
disc.
should watch the YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube. But yeah, for everybody that is listening, I'm holding up one of our Last Cash podcast discs with our custom stamp on them. And then I'm also holding up right now one of my signature stamp discs. Boom. Oh my gosh.
That's real nice.
DD did it again. DD did it again. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out and thank you to the great and powerful Charlie Matthews, who has often, for many years, done our Music City Open stamp, our club graphics, all sorts of stuff.
What was going through your mind like when you were coming up with your stamp? Like what was your thought process behind it?
Well, when me and him first started talking about it, it was kind of like, my initials look kind of cool next to each other because it's like just inverted. Sure. So you might use that. I was like, I like cats, so you might incorporate some kind of a cat thing. The
Mulligan Man?
the DD logo. I was PDGA number. I was just kind of throwing stuff out there. I was like, I don't really know how to make something that's a visual representation of me. I was like, that's why I'm paying you to do it. And he took a while, and he did it right as he normally does. And I could not be happier with it. It's all encompassed in a cat's eye. So I don't know if anybody
didn't
noticed
notice
that.
that
wondered
before.
what the eye was
Okay.
up with. Okay.
Yeah, I see that.
You can see the cat's eye there.
That cat scratch fever over there.
Yep. It's dope.
That's
And
pretty sick.
So we now have discs, Last Cash podcast discs, and Will McCaskill discs. Yes.
Nice. Congratulations, man.
So get out there and get
Awesome.
buying.
It feels good, man. It feels good.
Yeah.
And so right now I'm sorting out, making sure that Charlie gets the ones that are coming to him and that a couple key supporters get first pick. But the first place that these are going to be available is this coming Wednesday. So this will be airing on Tuesday night. So to you guys, it'll be tomorrow at the WNT, the Wednesday Night Tag Extravaganza at Seven Oaks. So you guys can get down there anytime 4:30, play your round card up, playing for tags, and usually done by about 8. And it's a big, good time. That's also the spot where you can go to pick up your bag tags and any merch that the club is holding for you. And I am not only going to have the Last Cash podcast discs, the Will McCaskill discs, I'm also going to have all of my other discs. So the full inventory. We're raising money for the show because we just spent a crap load of money in equipment and all sorts of stuff, and can't stop, won't stop. So that's just how it's going to go. I got some more pics. There you go. You can see that is the Will McCaskill discs all laid out. All pretty maids all in a row. And they look fantastic. But yes, thanks to Charlie Matthews for the artwork. Thanks to Matt Sedgwick and Jacob Torkelson in the graphics and customs departments at DD. Thanks to all the guys in the hot stamping department that made all the cool color combos happen. And there's the Last Cash podcast discs there. So come out to Wednesday night tags, you guys. Wednesday night tag extravaganza. We haven't done that in a while.
Whoa.
I was going to say,
like,
you
oh,
caught me
shit.
so off guard with
Yeah,
that.
you too, right?
Yeah.
I was like, what are we doing? Oh, yeah.
The very first time he ever did it, he caught me off guard with that. It was like, Ganza.
Also, breaking news, check out this sexy stamp right here. I'm sitting next to the tournament director for the 2021 Mike Lane Classic at Cedar Hill. And he designed the stamp for this year's discs, and I think he had some collaboration from somebody. If you want to shout them out, Marcus.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh,
Screw off, collaborator. Marcus did this all on his
It
own.
was all me.
Yep, and they look great. We can't wait to get those discs in. The first pick of the litter of 6 of them off the top are going to John Lane and Bridget Lane. That's Mike's grandfather and his wife. So that's also cool. I've been talking to John, and we're going to send him those. And we're also going to send him, somebody brought us one of Mike's discs that they found that has his name on it.
What?
And all sorts of stuff, this old Wraith that he used to throw.
That's awesome.
So we're going to throw that in the box with him as well. So really happy to do that.
How long has that disc been missing?
Who knows, man? I mean, I'm sure if Mike was here today, he probably couldn't tell you.
Do you know where they found it?
I think Dr. Details knows. But
about right.
he'll be here tomorrow because now this is all subject to change because it involves other people's schedules and all that stuff. But
Breaking news.
breaking news. Tomorrow night, we might be doing a little bonus episode. Is that right, Jay?
That's right. You
wanna-
heard it? No. Keeping
want-
it secret.
You want to go
Area
ahead and,
51 style.
you want to tease it a little bit?
We'll say it'll be a blast from the past.
A blast from the local past.
Yes, the local past. And we'll say, why is 6 afraid of 7?
It's probably better not to say just in case he
That's what I'm saying.
gets cold feet.
No, he's good. I talked to him. He should be good. He was busy. That was his only thing. He's like he just wanted to try to get done because he's trying to get back because apparently his mom's sick in Louisiana. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So
Well, that makes sense. But anyway, I'll just say that if you guys have been around in the disc golf community in Nashville, in the Nashville area, for quite some time, some of you newer folks may not know who this person is, but it was definitely an influential figure in the development of disc golf in Nashville being on a major stage at one point. And I mean, at one point, the biggest things that were going on for disc golf in Nashville, this guy had his hand in that pie. And so, surprise visit, we're going to make time for him. Hopefully everything works out. If so, we're going to be recording again tomorrow night. So you guys are probably going to get 2 episodes this week.
ooh, little bonus.
Because we love you.
bonus golf.
I have a little bit of housekeeping that I want to get out of the way real quick while we're still pretty fresh in the evening. Last week, No, this has nothing to do with what we talked about last week. This is something that has developed on social media.
Uh-oh. Whoa.
This is going to be...
Whoa. What happened?
This started out as my rant for this week. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, do I really need to be doing a rant and be all angry every week? I really don't. So as I kind of mulled this over in my head, I decided to approach it from not a ranting standpoint, but an educational standpoint. I'm going to use this as a teaching moment. So all you local guys, listen up.
Learn
and girls.
me.
So some things recently came up regarding the fact that, and it all started completely innocently, and I'm not going to air the dude's name out, but this gentleman probably feels completely mortified by what his innocent question turned into. But somebody posted on Music City Disc Golf asking what they could do with their AM payout from the bag tag series. And there have been announcements about this. The Nashville Disc Golf Store is no longer handling amateur payout for the bag tag series for Music City Disc Golf. So this gentleman asked a question, and a bunch of people decided to give an answer that didn't know what the hell they were talking about. So that is going to be the limit of the rant portion. Is a bunch of people had a lot to say. None of it was true. So if you read any of the commentary in that thread, congratulations, you still know just as much as you did before you wasted all that time. A lot of people have a lot of opinions about this, and this is the kind of place, this is why I'm no longer on the board of directors for the club. It's because I love every part of it except the politics and the drama and the and the noise. Can't do it. I'm going to let Dr. Hoy handle it. It just rolls off of him like water off a duck. But in order to understand this scenario, it's important to first understand that the Nashville Disc Golf Store is a for-profit business. And Music City Disc Golf is a 501c3 not-for-profit public charity. So, Sean Groton and the Nashville Disc Golf Store have a primary objective of making as much money as they can to keep their business profitable and continue providing a valuable service to the Nashville Disc Golf community. And I completely identify with Sean's motivation because he wants to earn a living and support himself by doing what he loves. And that's something that everybody should strive for and hope for out of their life and work towards. No ill will against Sean whatsoever. In fact, as far as I know, I mean, hell, some of the stuff y'all said, Sean could hate me right now, but I saw him a little while ago and he seemed okay. But as far as I'm concerned, there's no bad blood between me and Sean Groton. And I'm not going to speak on behalf of the club anymore because it's not my place to do so. But Dr. Hoyle will weigh in on this because I think he'll join us tomorrow night with the bonus episode. So, the end of the whole thing here is you have to understand the motivation of Sean Groton and the store. And then you have to understand that Music City Disc Golf's primary directive, our mission statement, is to make money by running events and give it away.
Non-profit.
Put it back into disc golf in Nashville. Whether that's course projects or promotional expenses or
the community of Nashville,
whatever the expenses are. But at the end of the year, we have to get rid of a certain amount of money. So we're not keeping it. So when Sean makes money, he's making money. Well, I say when the store makes money, the store's making money. When the club makes money, Nashville Disc Golf is getting better. We're not making money. We're making money to give it away. Well, I say we. I'm not on the board anymore. Be clear about this. So now it's important to understand at least the fundamentals of what the arrangement between the store and the club actually was. So if you are a tournament director or a club and you're hosting an event and you do not have your own inventory of merchandise, you have to contract with an outside vendor, with a third party, to do your amateur payout, your merchandise payout, whether you use vouchers or codes or whatever you do. Now, the industry standard for that kind of an arrangement is somewhere in the vicinity of 85-15%. So the vendor gets 85% of what they make, and the tournament director or the club gets 15%. And that's just pretty standard across the board. It makes it really easy to, for vendors to say, hey, can I be a part of the event? Yep, 85-15. Hey, can I be a part of the event? Yep, 85-15. Sound like an auctioneer after a while. So that was how the arrangement started. It was 85-15 split, just down the middle. That was how it was. And then at some point in the past, Sean wanted to renegotiate because here, this is another thing to be very important to be very clear about. in order for a for-profit business and a nonprofit institution to be able to have any kind of partnership or arrangement, it's a very delicate line to walk to maintain something that's mutually beneficial and works well for everybody. And because the purpose of both entities is very different. It's almost a polar opposite.
Sure.
So Sean needed to renegotiate. He wanted to get 50% of unclaimed vouchers, and he wanted, if we accepted the same vouchers for merchandise that we had, he wanted to get 15% of what we made on the back end, the same way we were getting 15% of what he made. Not unreasonable. And
50-50 on the unclaimed, right?
yeah, 50-50 on the unclaimed. So it's not unreasonable. We put it to a vote. It passed. I explained, I think it's important to continue to support the store to the rest of the board. And, if that is going to help him on his bottom line, I think we should do it. The board agreed and motion passed. Well, recently, Sean decided that they needed to renegotiate again and wanted to muddy the water. And I don't want to put anything on Sean by saying a derogatory kind of reference like muddy the waters, but what he was proposing was going to complicate things to a further extent. And in our line of work, we're trying to simplify. And it just ended up coming to a point where it was not going to be able to be beneficial for both parties. And it was a simple business thing. It's like, hey, we've come to a point where this isn't going to work for me and this isn't going to work for you. So it's not going to work. That's simple. It's just physics. So
Business.
that's what happened. And that's it. Nothing else happened. There were people that insinuated that Dynamic Discs was trying to elbow in on more of our money. Dude, if you understood the hundreds of thousands of dollars of free shit they have given us over the years, you would laugh at that idea. They have never asked us for exclusive rights to anything, amateur payout or otherwise. In fact, when we came to them and said we no longer have a vendor for our amateur payout, they give us 80/20 coupon codes online. So for the time being, you're only going to be able to choose from Trilogy products, but the club is also working on developing and maintaining their own inventory of all manufacturers so that you guys can go direct to the source, exchange your vouchers or whatever form of payment, get your merchandise and move on. So this is all just being worked out. Everything will be fine. You're going to get everything that you are due for your amateur payout. If you don't see anything you like with the club's inventory at this point, hang on to it. You can use it towards a future event. You can save it up towards the end of the year and buy something big. You can do whatever you want. It all will be valid and good. Now.
Or GoPro.
Or GoPro, yeah. Or move up, yeah. Sure. Hashtag move up. Now, the other thing here is everybody said, why not support local? It's like, why not? Is it not worth a couple dollars more a disc to support local? Well, okay. Supporting local goes both ways. Because Sean is a local store. We are a local club. So that was the whole nature of why we partnered with each other to begin with, was to support local. So if anybody out there is making an us versus them kind of scenario out of this, well, that's on you. And then you're the only person not supporting local.
I'd have to imagine that there has to be some kind of... He's got higher marks now, right? I mean, his rent's going up. Everything's going up right
Everything's
now.
going
Fuel
up.
prices are going up.
Yeah.
He has
It's
to
getting
think,
harder to
he has
keep
to
a
think
brick and mortar
profit-wise, to feed his family, pay his
And
house.
while disc golf is booming, disc golf is still a very niche market.
Oh, yeah.
So, he does have to get creative to keep afloat. And that's bottom line. It's true. But this was not, this has nothing to do with the many things that were insinuated. And one of the things that was, and I'm just going to put this to bed right now. There was a comment made that we spent thousands of dollars on a course that locals didn't even get to play, and that we spent $10,000 running the Music City Open, and none of that money went to the courses in the area. Now, I will tell you two things. One, we did not spend thousands of dollars on Ravenwood, because I know that's what this person was talking about. There was one, maybe 2 years where we paid less than $1,000 in fees to lease the property at Ravenwood. But no, it was 1 year, because the next year and the remaining years, Metro Parks has sponsored the event and waived all fees. So all this money that you think was spent on a course that you guys didn't get to play, well, you had opportunities to play it, for one thing. Two, We didn't spend all that money. So there you go. Another thing, we have never, okay, now, if you're saying we spent $10,000 on the Music City Open, well, that's laughable because I'm pretty sure that 2020 Music City Open was a $60,000, $70,000 event. Now, did we lose $10,000 on the Music City Open? Absolutely not. That's preposterous. I would not be doing my job if that tournament lost $10,000. Now, at the very worst, when I first took over as tournament director, that event lost a few $100s on the bottom line. We were in the red just a smidge. Last year, we were way in the green. We made way more money that we now get to put back into disc golf in Nashville. Tee signs, baskets, new courses, all this stuff. The train keeps rolling. Mm-hmm. So you guys don't believe everything you read on Facebook because most of it ain't true. All of that, and this happens from time to time, is somebody will take offense to something or feel like they've been given the short end of the stick in some way, and they will move out to social media on this vendetta, on this mission to tear down what we've all built together because they want to get attention ultimately. And then the first thing they do is they start making these accusations of impropriety and they're doing this with the money and they're doing this with the money. And dude, the financial statements are available. If you want them, email info@musiccitydiscgolf.com and ask for them.
Or just ask me.
Or just ask the financial officer who he's on a podcast once or twice a year when he shows up. So anyway,
slapper there.
Enough
I'm
about
learning
that.
some history here.
Enough about that. Y'all shut the hell up and get back to playing some disc golf. But we are here with a really cool dude, my pal Neil. And tell us a little bit about yourself, Neil, because you just recently moved to Nashville. How long have you been here?
6 months,
Okay.
somewhere around there.
Where'd you come from?
Well, that's a loaded question. Last place was Colorado. Before that, I was traveling around the country with a roofing company, chasing hurricanes, selling roofs. Tried to get out of my comfort zone a little bit. Kids got old enough, moved out. So me and the wife looked at each other, sold off all of our belongings, and traveled. And went from state to state, Texas, South Carolina, North Carolina. And then the headquarters was in Knoxville. And so we rented a little place over in Seymour. Fell in love with the place. So where I got reconnected with disc golf and I healed myself. Another story. And I fell in love with it. Got a huge job offer to go back to Colorado and to go train plumbers. And I was like, well, that's pretty cool. So we went back to Colorado. 6 months later, my wife comes to me and she goes, we're not going to do pineapples. I effing hate it here, is what she tells me. And she doesn't like the winters. She doesn't like the housing cost. And of course, it's there's transients everywhere. People are doing, heroin on the streets in some places. And it's just becoming kind of not a great place to be anymore. And so in jest, I was like, I'm going to call Tennessee and see if I could even get a plumbing license. Let's see what happens. Call Tennessee and they're like, yeah, as long as you've been a plumber for at least a year, we'll give you a plumbing license. You just got to take the test and go through all the motions. And I was like, well, wow. Okay. I've been doing it for 20. So we sold everything off again, put everything in a trailer. And our initial landing spot was supposed to be Knoxville. We get there, we unload our trailer, and the rental that we're going to take, we call him. And the guy goes, oh, yeah, I'm not going to rent that place to you no more. I was just talking to the guy 3 days ago before we left Colorado.
What?
So I'm sitting here going, okay, whatever higher power you guys believe in, God, higher power, the universe, whatever it is. So now it's time to roll the dice again. Luckily, my wife is a trooper, and she's really, really good at staying by my side and just kind of like, okay, we got this. So I was like, look, I'm going to put an ad in Nashville. I'm going to put one in Knoxville. Whichever one lands, that's where we need to go. That's where the universe, God, wants us to go. So I do that. A week later, I get a call from a guy here in Nashville, 3-bedroom house, fully furnished, right? For $1,000 a month.
What?
I'm like,
unheard of.
That's what I thought, right?
How long ago was this?
6 months ago.
Ooh.
So I was paying $2,000 a month for a hotel, going, how in the hell am I going to catch myself? Like my money's just going out the window. It's just flying out the window. I'm like, I'm not going to have any money left over to do anything when this is all over. So turn of events, I go meet this guy, and of course, I'm the skeptical guy. I'm a businessman, so I look at that, and I'm looking at this 3-bedroom house, fully furnished. All I have is boxes, right, in the trailer.
Yeah, too good to be true scenario.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, this guy's ripping me off. Who knows what's going on? So we come to the house. Nice gentleman, his wife, his daughter. I'm like, wow, they're really going all out on this.
Selling it.
Yeah, they're going all out on this, man. They really want this $1,000, right? And my wife's like, you're full of it. And I was like, I've been ripped off before. I just don't believe it. $1,000 for Nashville seems unreasonable. Anyways, fast forward, the guy was real. Gave us the place, and I went and took my test, got my plumbing license, and rest is history, man. I love it here. Things are just taking off for us. My wife's got
Like it was meant to be.
Oh, exactly. That's how we feel. I feel at home here. The disc golf scene is off the hook. I love it here.
That's awesome.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
And they're obviously not losing money because you guys have courses.
These guys too. And Dr.
Well,
Boy.
was there an adjustment?
Yeah, because you guys are all on
And
the
a
board
lot
too,
of
right?
other
You're a
people.
Financer.
He was, and we both are now.
Right. I remember seeing your.
I was the president for
right.
the last 2 years.
And
But
then
yeah,
you
we
stepped
all
down.
stood on the shoulders of giants to get to where we are now.
Is that the way it always goes?
Oh, yeah,
the
man.
people that come before you. So that's how we ended up in Nashville. It was kind of a turn of events, a wild chain of oh crap, we're gonna be living under a bridge soon if I don't figure something out, and things just kind of fell into place.
That's awesome.
That's great. Man.
You-
Love it when a plan comes together.
You mentioned disc golf healed you, and you said it's another story. And if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine.
Oh, no, we
But
can talk about it.
We talk about disc golf
Jake, we're
healing
holding onto the
people,
mic.
but it's my safety net.
No, and keep
Back
it away from your face a little bit. Too.
But we talk about it on the podcast all the time about how disc golf has done something major in most people's lives. And so when you said it healed you, it just kind of caught my interest and was curious about that.
I might have misspoke. So I fell in love with disc golf back in 2000. So when I first played, and fell in love with it. Played it every day, all the time. And then I had a young family, had a kid, my ex-wife at the time, a new wife, and it just wasn't a career choice. So I did plumbing. I went into my career and I just concentrated on that. Moved to Colorado in 2005. And then as soon as I owned my own business, I owned another business out there called Rooter PhD. We operated out of ambulances, and I had trademarks, and I was doing all this big stuff with it. Had all these huge dreams, and I was going to sell franchises and do all this cool stuff and have like training schools and teach people how to do this stuff. Anyway, I got to a point where I could play disc golf again because I own my own business. I can kind of shape my days, and I'm not listening to a boss tell me I got to work 60 hours a week. So that's when I met Doug Bierkes. And I hired his son, Hunter. He was one of my apprentices for Rooter
Shout out to
PhD.
Dougie Fresh.
Yeah, what's up, Doug? How you doing, man?
Fresh.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
I was just talking to him today.
Over yeah,
Yeah,
next
we've
time
had,
you see
we've
him.
had him on the podcast.
Really, really cool.
I'm going to see him in about 26 days exactly.
Nice. I reconnected with him on Facebook a little bit, but he's so busy now because he's always doing big events and so.
Yeah, you
he
see him
gets
on the
clogged
coverage
up.
at Texas State's. He was out there doing starting times.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. I haven't had a chance to sit down and do that. I've been so busy like lately.
I haven't either.
So anyway, I was playing a lot of disc golf, and I just entered my first B tier tournament after like 3 or 4 years, right? So it's like 2012 now. And I'm practicing. I'm in the shape of my life. I'm doing P90X. I've got shoulders. I've got abs for the first time in my life. I can run up a mountain. I'm just in shape. And I'm out there and I'm over practicing. Okay, so this is really important, guys. I over practiced. Okay, and I'm trying to. So yeah, I'm driving 500 feet with my driver, but I want that extra, whatever I can get out of it, right? So I'm really reaching into these things. And I reached back so far and came through my pool, and I heard a pop. And I was like, oh, shit. What was that? And then I was like, okay, I'm going to take it easy, put my stuff back in my bag, right? And now I got to go retrieve 8 discs that are, down the fairway. So as I'm walking, I got my bag on my back. I'm going, hunching over. By the time I get to the disc, I can barely stand anymore. Wow. All right, I'm only, 34, 35. And I'm like, okay, this is bad. I actually hurt myself. So I go home. And I'm thinking, young man, and I'm in shape, so this is going to go away. So I go to bed. I wake up the next day. I can't stand. I'm like, oh, crap, this isn't good. So I start doing a little bit of yoga, start doing a little bit of stretching and stuff. And my B-tier tournament's coming up. It's at Black Forest in Colorado, near Colorado Springs. Course isn't there anymore. Awesome course if you ever got to play it. I loved it. Playing my first round, and I just shouldn't have been there. I shouldn't have done it. but I tried.
I just shouldn't have been.
tried. I just shouldn't have been there.
Wrong place, wrong
It's
time.
the only time I ever DNF'd a tournament, and I've had some really bad tournaments, right? But this one, I couldn't finish it. I was too injured. Told the guy, I'm sorry, man, I can't be here. I got a DNF. I got to go home. Well, that really tore me up. I couldn't play anymore. Yeah, that's just the way it was. I was that injured, and I went to chiropractors, and I did all this stuff, and I'm trying to get healthy, and it's just not correcting. So I couldn't do plumbing anymore. There was just a lot of I couldn't. For a guy that uses his body, I fix my own trucks. I'm a country boy. I do everything with my hands and my body, right? So all of a sudden, my life has changed. I can't do any of this stuff. Sold off all my discs. Which, if you guys have
Boy, that stinks.
my old
that
prototype,
sucks.
my old prototype spiders that I had, man. Oh my
I
god!
just got to
sold
pause you real
everything.
quick and say, like, I remember even before I really
moment of
understood
silence.
what being a man meant back in the 90s when I was a young kid and the story about John and Lorena Bobbitt was on TV. I remember seeing that on TV and feeling like I needed to close my legs.
Yeah.
And just mentioning selling your discs feels very
Oh,
similar.
it was
So,
it was
unpause. Go ahead. Yeah.
it was very similar. It was a heartbreak, but I accepted it. So this is my new life. I got to start going into sales. I can't use my body anymore. I can't do any of this stuff. I can't play disc golf anymore. I'm just going to accept it, right? So, and this is another thing, huge thing that I shouldn't have done. I succumbed to my injury and I let it happen, and then I healed incorrectly. Fast forward to 2019, I'm in Knoxville. My wife talks me into doing more yoga, and we really take it serious. I'll be damned if 4 months later, all of a sudden I can bend down. I can do all
Change
these
your
things. I can
life.
sleep different. I can like, I'm doing these things that I couldn't do before, right? It just felt different in my body. Looked over at my wife and I'm like, I want to go buy 3 discs, and I'm going to buy you 3 discs, and we'll use it as an exercise. We'll go just, go check it out. So I go buy 3 discs. I buy a Daedalus. I can't remember my mid. I think I bought a Rock, and I bought a
good
Judge.
disc.
A Judge. Yeah, I still don't throw the Rock.
That's a good disc too.
What's that?
The Judge,
Oh yeah.
Brock Judge.
Yeah. So I
What,
go
you're on,
out.
like, Daedalus?
What? Yeah. It's one of my. I love the disc. Although my distance driver now is a Corvette. I love it. I can't get enough of them.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. So I go out to Clayton's over in Knoxville.
Yeah. I got an ace there.
Did you? What hole?
7.
Okay, so I never
one
got to
right by
play
the
the 9.
sign.
I never got to play the 9
Okay.
because when I was there, it was still closed. So it was you
that's
could
a
play
bummer.
hole 1, and then 10 through, and then they had a bunch of like flags and paint everywhere. Where you
Is it
can-
reopened again now? 'Cause
Yes,
I know
it
they
is.
closed it. And
Yeah, it is.
I think last time I played it was in the same position, something like that.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I
that
go
course
over.
is so cool.
So hole 10, I think it's and don't murder me if I get it wrong. It's over 400 feet. The blue basket, the furthest basket. So I'm standing on the tee. You got these 2 trees, the uprights. I'm like, I haven't thrown a disc in 8 years, right? And I've been injured. So I get up and I just rip this thing, and it goes over 400 feet. And I was like, holy shit, I still got it. All right. This warming feeling came over my body, right? And all of a sudden, my wife looked at me. She goes, oh shit.
He's back.
Yeah, she knows when I get hooked into something, I have
Obsessed.
no. I don't have a chill button. I have a go. Let's just go. Let's do it. And if I make mistakes, I don't care.
All in or nothing.
I'll fix it.
I wonder if I can do that again. Ooh, I did it
I think
again.
a lot of people
Yeah.
react to accuracy sports like that. I mean, you see
You
a lot
think
of
so?
people that react to like bowling or pool.
Pool.
or-
I was gonna say pool.
yeah, darts. Like you see a lot of people that just like
It's hard.
like Q-tip Barry. I mean, like, and there's so many people that cross discipline too with accuracy sports. You got a lot of people that are really into bowling, that are into disc golf, darts, pool, all that stuff.
Gotcha.
I think it's like
You consider shooting?
it's a weird thing in a person like that. I don't, maybe orients them towards accuracy sports.
you-
Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting's a sport for sure.
Axe throwing?
Yeah, why not?
I was
Anybody
curious
here?
the reason for
Well, I don't
shooting.
know.
'cause
I
like a
think
sport,
shooting
you're
would be
kinda doing
different.
more or something. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I would just think
wonder.
shooting would be different because you're not
but
actively
accuracy-
throwing or
Right.
using a body.
Well,
motion
is
to do
is
it, right?
pool or I mean darts is
Yeah.
considered a sport. Cornhole
Sure,
is
but
considered
you're
a sport. You're just throwing something.
You have an accurate. You have to use your body.
wrist.
You know what I mean? Your wrist and your where you hold it.
Well, there's a lot of
But
shitty shots with a pistol out there. Too,
I've had
so.
some shitty shots in my life. That's for sure. You're right. You're right. I can't shoot a pistol to this day.
Not
I'm
all
a rifle
shooters
guy
are created
myself.
equal, Neil.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. That's with
Well, I mean,
everything.
you know,
So,
Shooter.
Knoxville, I got
to
back
murder
into
Mike.
disc golf. I fell in love with it. And, no, I fell in love with it. I've always been in love with it. But all of a sudden, I was like, I can do where I have my zen, where I have my church where I have my moments of clarity and I shut everything off in my life, right?
Rekindle that love.
Oh man. Oh yeah. And then I got to give a shout out to the Knoxville boys, Brad Beck. You know, he really helped me get back on. He brought me this huge stack of Prodigy discs. You know, he's like, hey, get back into it, and just brought me all these discs. The McKinneys, they were the first tournament that I went to after being injured. I'd only been playing for 8 days. I had like 5 discs in my bag. I've only been throwing them for 8 days. I have no idea what the flight is, and I was like, I'm gonna go put myself in a tournament. I'm gonna play pro. I'm just gonna see how I do.
Did you win that thing?
Oh no, buddy. I think McKinney, I think I got it. I think my rating was 870. Lowest I've ever shot in my whole.
have that.
What course you play? Morningside?
But I can't remember the name of this. It's in between here and Knoxville.
Schumpert?
Clarksville? Not
King
Creek.
Oh, King Creek.
I think
Cookville?
that might be it. There's like.
It was probably King Creek.
The one that's underwater right now.
Oh really?
A lot of water around the lake.
I just remember there was an elevated basket, and there's parts where there's like some open, and then there's some trees. So pretty cool story. I actually was looking for a different course when I moved back here, and I was driving over in that direction. I was like, oh, there's a course right here. I check U-disc, you know, and I pull in there, and I was like, oh, it's the course that I shot that 870. Oh my God. I was like, I'm going to play this course right now. I'm going to see how I do. Just to let you know, I shot an 8 down the second time. So that's
second
2 years
shot
later.
always goes in.
Yeah,
dude.
that's
Second putt always goes in.
No, that's not fair.
Can we confirm this on UDisc?
Too funny. Well, I can still punch some funky numbers there too, buddy.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
But it felt good to see that progression. You know, after it's only been 2 years, and my game is coming back to. I think I'm at 955 or something like right now.
That's awesome, man.
I dropped after leaving Colorado though.
Yeah, well, you and Shantae just won the ladies and gents dubs.
It's a different world, different fly.
Oh, it's yes. I'm
Disc
learning.
flying
I had to go buy all new disc. I had to get rid of all my G Star because I was using G Star up there because I'm a California player, so I'm a flip up hyzer guy. Mm-hmm. I want everything to come out hyzer, flip up, and do its nice little fade or go, you know.
Sure.
So when I got here, I have all G Star and then flippy stuff.
You say that like it's a bad thing. G-Star's some good plastic. Just saying.
I love G Star. A
Throwing
lot
that
of people
out there.
hate on it. I don't know why.
It's one of those things. Either you love it or you hate it.
I like it because it's gummy on my fingers.
I loved it.
what I like.
Well, I mean,
I feel like it's a beat-in disc.
I feel like
Yeah.
Biofusion plastic from Dynamic Disc feels very similar to me,
Yes, it does.
and like I used to carry, at least for my drivers and my mids, I used to carry Biofusion versions of my go-tos just in case we got wet, and then I could still hold on to it because I prefer the candy plastic. You know what I mean? But I didn't mean to cut you off.
Candy plastic. I haven't heard that term in a long time, man.
It's old school,
Yeah, that's very old school.
car?
but it's the stuff you see through.
Right.
It looks like
yeah.
a Jolly
Oh, I know
Rancher.
what it is
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm from early 2000s.
I was
man.
expl-
That's
that
what
was
we
for
used
the
to
sake
call-
of the
Oh, I'm
audience,
sorry.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I forgot I was. You're right. You forget about these
They're
things.
not here. Don't worry about them. They don't mean nothing.
Exactly.
So you showed up with your G-Star plastic.
Oh yeah, where was I? I guess you know. So well, not only that, but Colorado. A lot of people don't know, but the courses that are not in the mountains that you don't pay for, they're all open, wide open. There's really no trees to shoot around. So it's just big open hyzers or flex shots or battling wind and elements and trying to hit your long shots. It's pretty much.
I played Beaver Ranch.
Oh, now you're talking mountains, and that's a class course,
dude,
I love that course, man.
beautiful course.
Yeah. Do you want pictures?
But I've got pictures, tons
Yeah,
of them.
I know
but,
you do.
But
I know you do.
Lance and Elise
trying to
when we
get
played
putters
that while they were out there.
putters
They
to
brought me
turn
a
over
disc.
was
Oh,
ridiculous.
you can't.
Thanks,
It's-
guys.
You so in Mike Stores was one of the guys. I asked him to coach me. I was like, dude, coach me, because I've only been back for like a year, and I'm like, I don't see what my form is, and I refuse to record myself to. I don't know why. I'm stubborn like that. Old school, maybe.
In your own head.
I need someone talking shit to me in the background. Hey, dude, stop being dumb.
I will talk
You know,
shit to you
flat
if you
your
need
chest,
to.
you know
I do
what
it all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I need sometimes I need that.
Don't
right?
put Scott Stokely over here.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, right.
So went out there, and so there when you're throwing, you have to really accentuate pulling your chest back and really dip into that anhyzer if you want to flex it. Even with, one of my favorite discs that I was throwing there was the Mamba. What is it, a -5?
Dr. Hoy's a big Mamba fan too.
I love them, man. The flip up hyzer I get out of those things,
And he
you go
rips them,
high
too.
and they flip up.
We're gonna play around sometime, and I'm gonna put some Swedish plastic in your hand, see how you like it.
I love it.
Swedish.
So here's the only reason I throw a Nova. So I throw.
Hey,
in-
wait! I have the perfect opportunity. Hold on.
Oh,
I'm glad you say a Nova because I do too. And not many people say that.
For all your
Oh, yeah.
instrumental help in Operation Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, look in there and pick out something you like.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Will.
Do I have to choose?
In fact,
This
if you
might
want,
take
if
me
you
a
want to
minute.
get one new and one used, go ahead. Yeah, that's fine.
So this is
for
gonna take me a minute.
Those of you who can't see
I'm gonna-
this,
for the
You can
camera.
set
I'm
it-
gonna,
you can set
I'm
it
gonna
down and
set this
look later.
down,
Yeah,
and
that's
we'll,
fine.
we'll get to this because
it's the new DD. What bag is
I'm
that
not gonna
called?
reach my hand in there and just pick anything. I got to pick what I want.
It's probably the nuclear assault bag. I forget.
I don't know, but literally,
It looks like a torpedo.
I bought one.
They're dope.
I literally have it filled with nothing but classic hard judges.
Well,
Really?
You might have to get another one when you see the ones I got in the back of the van.
I'll get a second one if I have to.
What you mean? I have to fill it with more discs?
I just
Yeah.
like having the same putter to practice with, and then when those get old, then you can have a bunch of new ones. Still.
Well, hosts of the Last Cash podcast get to pick one Last Cash podcast disc
Sweet,
for free. Everything else is fundraisers. So
we could do that.
you can look through
I'll raise your funds.
after we talk to Pete Ulibarri, because we got him joining us here in a little bit. But not
be a
I
Huckleberry.
cut you off with the lure of
Oh,
of
the
candy.
plastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
nice van, free candy.
yeah, and I'd hop in that van.
We got
I
Pete
would.
coming on. We do maybe 2 tips today. 2 tips.
2 tips.
We might have to do
Oh,
two
pineapple.
tips.
Let's call it
Two
DP,
tips.
friend.
Just the tip, though.
Pineapple.
What happened?
I can't
What happened
find
to
it.
the
I
pineapple?
can't find
That
it.
was a
to it?
pineapple.
Where is it?
Ah, there it is. Keep catching this.
What happened to the actual
Oh yeah, what happened to the neon
It's
pineapple?
here. My son has it somewhere.
He's probably using it in there for mood in the mic booth.
Yeah.
He's creating vibes.
This is fun.
Hashtag vibes. Davon, by the way, shout out golf snaps to Davon. I've been having some really deep philosophical conversations with your boy Marcus, and he's a rad little kid, man. Well, he ain't little; he's probably taller than me, but
He is.
he's taking advantage of the fact that we have a studio here, and he's engaging in his passion for music, and he's been converting the closet into a mic booth, and he's got himself a little sound system with
Nice,
our
man.
old soundboard and stuff set up in there.
How old is he?
21.
21.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So we call that a kid. Yeah.
So we,
Kid
get,
me.
so we get some royalties
He's
when he
definitely
makes
a
it
kid.
big, right?
Yeah,
Because
okay.
we donated
yeah,
that
it's
stuff
like-
too. We get a little scratch.
When I was 21, oh yeah.
I had a client the other day. She was 22, and she owned her own house. And I kept when I'm
What?
referring to her, I'm like calling her a kid, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, because my son's 20. I have a son that's 24. So
Does he own his own house?
no, that's the thing. I don't own. I'm renting right now.
Shit,
right?
I'm 35. I don't know
Right.
how.
So I, so I was like, man, I kept calling her a kid. I'm like, yeah, but she owns her own house. She's an engineer. She's working around, 50-year-old men all day, telling them what to do on job sites. I mean,
So tell everybody about your business. Lucky Clover Plumbing is the name of Neil's company, guys, and you are looking at the scrolling text at the top of the screen right now. It looks like it's Greek or a garbled subspace transmission, but that's actually just the link to Pete Ulibarri's YouTube channel, and I don't know why it's in the scrolling text because it's not like you can copy and paste that. So I'll fix that later. But yeah, you will see here in a minute once that mile-long link goes away. www.luckycloverplumbing.com is the website for your business. If you guys are in the Nashville area and you have plumbing needs, this might be your guy. Tell them a little bit about what you do, buddy.
well, I specialize in plumbing. I've been doing it for about a little over 20 years now. I've ran huge companies doing it. I've trained people all across the country doing it. Well, I shouldn't say all across the country. California, or Colorado. I have a passion for it. My passion in it is customer service. That's where I excel. Yeah, I know how to do the work and all that kind of stuff. But for me, the passion is going into someone's home. They're freaking out. They have a leak. There's something going on. There's not a lot of great plumbers out there. They can't diagnose and figure out issues. They just kind of see the subsurface problem, like drippy faucet, for instance. When I see a drippy faucet, I don't go, that's a drippy faucet. I go, okay, well, why is it dripping? Like there might be something else going on. We have a complete system that we're dealing with. So I'll do a pressure test on the system. I'll make sure that it's not over pressurizing, so he doesn't have any more blowouts. So the homeowner doesn't have any more issues with their water pressure. And I educate my clients. I think that's so important. I sit down with my clients and I go over, hey, it's not just leaking. There's these other things going on. X, Y, and Z is going on. Whatever I need to educate them on. And I do free estimates. I come out for free. I take a look. I'm a firm believer in that. It might change in the future. I have no idea. I'm getting so busy in Nashville. It's insane.
You're hopping in city.
Oh, it's not just so. In Denver, you're fighting and clawing for everything. every company's pristine. They're clean. They know how to do the customer service, and they leave good plumbing behind. And you're fighting and scratching for everything you can get there. When I owned Rooter PhD, I was spending somewhere in the neighborhood of, oh boy, and it was a long time ago, about $8,000 a month just in advertising, just to get 3 trucks to roll, right?
Sure.
And that was a month. Here, I'm not paying anything for advertising, and my phone is ringing off the hook. It's unreal. I've probably spent $200 total in advertising, maybe $300 just with Home Advisor and that sort of thing. In fact, today I got a call from Home Advisor before I came to the podcast, and they're like, "Hey, Neil, you haven't been turning on your phones." I was like, "Yeah, it's because I'm busy. I got things going on." They're like, "Well, we're going to offer you half price of all your leads because you pay per lead." And I was like, half price? I was like, that's a really good deal. They're like, "Yeah, but you have to turn on your phones right now." And I was like, I can't. I'm busy. And they're like, "Well, you can turn it off directly after, but in order for us to activate it, it's probably the sales ploy." I know. But I'm a sucker for good sales. I'm a salesman. So you give me a good sale, I'm going to buy. So I bet. They turned it on, and not 10 seconds later, I had 3 phone calls. Boom, 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 all come in. I was like, oh, crap, turn it off. Pause the leads. It's so insane here. I go into houses, and I literally have to put my blinders on because I'll look like a salesman going through someone's house. I'll go through, and I see half-inch pipe just... I can't even explain the things that I'm seeing here. I mean, it's just insane to me. One of my, in fact, the client that I was just talking about, I walked into her house and she had another plumber there. He's going to install a tankless water heater. She doesn't like the flow that she's getting throughout her house. And he goes, "Well, just pay for the extra heavy flow tankless water heater." And I just kind of looked at her and I was like, oh, and the other weird thing about the guy is that he refused to upgrade her gas line, which has to be done if you do a tankless water heater, right? And I'm like, well, it's like, you can spend an extra $1,000 on that water heater if you want, but you got half-inch pipes going through your house. You're never going to achieve the flow that you want. So she fired him, and I got hired for the whole job. Not only did we do the water lines, we did the gas lines, we did the drain lines, and I still have to go back and do some other stuff for her. But that's what I'm running into here. It's like these guys are going in there, and they're just trying to get what they can, do the easy stuff, the low-hanging fruit, and then running away. And I'm a firm believer. I like happy clients. I want to go in and say, that's not really going to work. I'm not trying to upsell you, but you really got to do X, Y, and Z for it to work properly. So otherwise, you're going to be pissed. I don't want you to be mad at me. That's why all my reviews are 5 stars. Because that's the way I treat my clients. And
you just told me if I got commode issues, I'm calling
you. Give me a call.
Jay's like,
that's the easy stuff. Give me something hard.
You got a toilet out there? I'd buy a toilet right damn now.
I'm doing
get that boudet.
We're going to change a garage over into a bathroom, and we're going to actually do something like that. So yeah, we'll be calling you soon.
Oh, I got you. We can get that water out and in. Oh yeah, I got all kinds of solutions.
All right.
Yeah, we got lift stations. There's all kinds of stuff we can do.
I'm not scared to get dirty.
Well, me and you need to talk.
I
had no idea that you did construction because I can't tell you how many houses I go into, and I'm like, yeah, I'll tear your tub out, and I'll rip through your sheetrock, but I put it back.
Yeah, put it back
I'm
together,
fixing your plumbing. That's it, and then I'm out. So me and you need to get together.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
So on a rough estimate, how many people do you think have seen your crack?
Proud to say, I don't have one of those. I never got that big yet.
yes, keeping it professional.
So you mean your ass is just one solid? It's like a sheetrock.
I wear a very tight belt.
That's right. That's right.
He doesn't suffer from the Hank Hill
I don't
disease. Where, like I do, where no belt tightening can keep your pants from falling off your butt because there's not one there.
It's funny because there's this misnomer about plumbers being large people, and you should see some of the places I got to squeeze my body.
Oh yeah,
there is no way.
Yeah.
I mean, there is just no way. There's some places. This again, that house that I just did on the replumb for. I mean, this.
I know why you like customer sales because you're right.
Yeah,
squeezing your body in that place.
Oh yeah. It's there's a reason why plumbers charge what they charge. It's hard work.
Oh yeah,
it's tough.
And nobody wants to do it. Yeah.
And people don't want to get into it because they get into trouble.
Are you seeing a lot of that?
It's all secrets and tricks and stuff that you learn over the days. Doing it.
You see a lot of the nobody in the trade industry anymore. Are you seeing a lot of that with your own company, or do you get pretty good hires?
Oh, you mean like trying to hire people?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not even tried here. Oh my, I'm not there yet.
Okay.
So I was being selfish when I first got here. I wasn't going to start a big company. I was going to start Lucky Clover Plumbing, which has got a cool story behind the name. I'll have to tell you guys sometime. I was just going to do 3 or 4 calls a week, make my paycheck, play disc golf the rest of the time, help my wife with her antique business, and do what I do, And then I have so many calls coming in, and then my clients call me, and I don't want to use the word beg, but
They
begged, right?
Sure.
Because they can't find anybody. One homeowner said they had to wait 8 weeks to get their gas line done. 8 weeks. Wow. I was like, are you kidding me? That's how busy it is here. Mm-hmm. It's insane. So for anyone that wants to learn the trade, I would love to teach you. Because I'm about to explode. I'm about to get massive. There's some weird county laws that I'm dealing with right now. So Tennessee's kind of weird, right? So I got my Tennessee state license. I'm a Tennessee state licensed plumber, limited liability plumber. But I can't pull permits in Davidson. Weird, right? So I go talk to them. I'm like, well, but I'm state licensed. They're like, yeah, but we got this special test, and we want you to take this special test.
That costs you special money.
Exactly. And I'm like, who do I write a letter to? Because it makes no sense to me. I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm paying you money to come take a look at my work to say, yep, it's pipe, it's fixed. Good. Check mark. That's all you got to do. I mean, I'm going to do it right whether you come or not. So to me, it seems kind of asinine to make me jump through all these hoops. It's definitely not as bad as Colorado
or California.
I'm not even going to talk.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Oh my! That's the reason why.
Dang old Californians, man.
Yeah, dang them Californians. No vacancy. That's a Colorado thing. So for those in Colorado, they know what that is. Bumper stickers everywhere, no vacancy.
Yeah, we had that in Nashville for a little while.
Did you really?
I mean, we had so many people coming per day. How many people was it per day?
Oh, it was like 1,000 a week or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
So real quick before
Colorado's
Marcus,
awesome.
Before Marcus tells you about everybody's favorite segment, just the tip.
Just the tips, huh?
I was going to tell you this. It was really interesting, something that happened on Saturday that I didn't tell anybody about yet. But when we were leaving the sporting facility the first time, and you gave me your card, and I looked at it and I saw Lucky Clover Plumbing. I was like, okay, that's cool. Put it in my pocket with my wallet, and then we went down the road. Whenever we all got to Cane Ridge and we were out of the cars and we were getting ready to start unloading the first load of turf, I was over there standing in the mud and the grass with the rain coming down. You guys and everybody, all the audience just saw this when I dropped the video a little bit ago, and so they've seen what I'm about to tell you about. But Justin Morris walks up to me while I'm standing there, and I was kind of like, just, oh my gosh. You could see the raindrops in these pictures. Like,
oh, yeah.
I mean, in the video, you can see each raindrop coming down. And
Mm-hmm.
Justin just walks up to me, doesn't say a word, and he just holds out his hand. And I grab what's in his hand, and it's 2 4-leaf clovers.
Awesome.
And I was like, oh, dude, what? And
I
he was
love
like,
it.
He's like, yeah, just put them in your pocket. Just put them in your pocket. And I was like, wow. So there's a picture of it in the Saturdays
awesome,
for the
man.
Boys video. But yeah, it was like it was like maybe within an hour of you handing me your card, Lucky Clover Plumbing. And I cannot I've never been able to find 4-leaf clovers. I got a tattoo of one on my arm, so I never have to look for one.
Right.
But
I'm actually getting ready to get a tattoo of one too.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm going to succumb to it and just go get it done.
I got mine when I was 18.
Really?
Yeah. I'll show it to you on the break.
I'm going to do mine's going to be my midlife crisis tattoo.
So yeah, Marcus, hit him with the spiel.
Man, so you've already got skills that I didn't even think you had when you walked into this building. So tell us what you think about like new people getting into this golf game. It doesn't necessarily have to be a certain thing as far as like I guess form or stretching, or it could be something like showing up on time or anything like that. Just give us a tip, just a tip only, please.
Oh man, I gotta say, keeping your body limber, man. Yoga. It saved my life.
Yeah.
That P90X yoga? That'll kill you.
No, do not do P90X. No, don't do that.
We were trying to put him on DDP yoga on Saturday.
I've done the P90X yoga. That's harder than regular P90X.
That is not beginner stuff. So what I do is me and my wife subscribe to Beachbody, which they make P90X, right?
Okay.
They have a streaming platform. It's like $99 for the year.
Yep.
And they have this one that's called 3-week yoga retreat. The first week is nice and just core building, right? It's just
God, you better have it.
Just downward dog, upward dog, simple stuff. Front folds. Get you ready for the second week. Then the second week is more stretching and twisting and getting stuff aligned. And then the third week is kind of a little bit more brutal and advanced, and
Yes.
Yoga
So,
brutal? What?
Dude,
it can't. Oh, but have you never tried it before?
I've done yoga twice, but never anything.
you got into
I
it.
hear hot yoga is intense.
Yeah. Whenever someone says hot yoga, I don't picture what it really is.
I know, right?
It's just like it's like
There's
yoga.
a lot of
It's like
videos.
yoga
There's
and
a lot of
sauna.
videos on
Is there
YouTube
18
about
plus
the hot yoga,
yoga?
that I
Yeah, that's a spectator sport, right?
That's what I think.
You get into a little meditation as well, I'm sure.
I try. My brain's too busy. You know where my meditation happens?
Well,
It's on the disc
that's
golf
the purpose
course.
of meditation. Well, it's if you're
Right.
if that's
That's where I
if
do my
you are-
meditation.
If you are being mindful and staying focused on one thing, that is in essence meditation.
It's kind of funny. People might think I'm a loner, but I love to play by myself. I'll go out to a course and I'll stay quiet. I'll say
It's
hi to
great.
people that are at the putting putting.
Try that at the Oaks.
basket. Yeah, that's impossible there. So I do Cane because I live right, or not Cane, but Cedar, because I'm
yeah.
10 minutes away from it, right? And for some reason, not a lot of people play there during the weekday. Not like
it's
seven.
too hard.
It's hard, of course.
Yeah, I love that course.
Yeah,
So
it is awesome.
I go up there with my cart. Yes, I'm 45. I pull a cart.
Bro, I'm
I
35.
love it.
I love my car.
I have no shame in my game. And that's where I actually let go of everything. I don't think about my business. I don't think about, oh crap, I got to do this and the kids do. You know what I mean? That stuff leaves my head and it's just me and the course. And I might cuss a couple times, but that's my meditation.
Yeah, I like it. I can
That's
get
me
behind that.
releasing stuff, And then I hate it when things are set too short because I can't find a course here that's like where I can really go release.
I know.
and
I
just
can't
let it
get
go.
behind that. I like.
I'm working on it. Don't worry.
Yeah. So I go to Sanders Ferry.
Sanders
Is that
Ferry.
right?
Have you been to Dixon yet?
Dude,
No, I
you
don't
will
think
love
38 West if
Buckner.
you like throwing
You'll
balls.
love
Really?
Buckner. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't played that one
10,000
yet.
feet, 10,000 from the shorts,
Yep.
13
Wow,
from the
really?
longs or something like that.
How far is that?
45 minutes.
Yeah,
Oh,
35.
that's it. Okay.
Buckner Park is what it's called.
here.
If
So
you
my
want to go
wife-
play sometime, I'll go.
My wife's starting to get now that spring she wants to get back into it again. So I like to go play White House a lot because they have the two baskets set up. So she plays the short ones while I play the longer ones. So that's kind of fun for us.
It's such a cool course.
I love that course.
I
It's
do too.
You're welcome.
yeah.
Well, I got I just keep. I'll take credit for everything, but no. Dynamic Disc donated the red, white, and blue veterans for us
Okay.
to use in the Music City Open last year because it was supposed to be in the NT finale last year,
Mm-hmm.
and then we were going to get to keep the baskets and put them in the ground at one of our courses. So the idea was the whole time was after Music City Open, if they weren't going to let us put Mill Ridge in permanently, those baskets were going to go to White House. So when the NT series got pushed last year, I got those baskets over there. And Lance's
man.
idea was to set up a kids course with the Prodigy baskets. And I don't know if he has yet, but he was working on getting all of those vinyl wrapped in different colors so they're more visible. But
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I was there. If that because I don't
It'll
like
be a
it, I don't like
gradual
when the
thing.
baskets are gray because it's really hard to find them through.
well,
and
that's
green.
why, yeah, that's why
Green's
we
so
did
hard to
that.
find.
Yeah, that's why
That
we
was a
did that.
genius.
But I like White
genius
House
thought.
because I can take my wife and we go play together, and she's not intimidated by me throwing 300 something feet through the woods, and
Yeah.
she can throw her little 150 footers and and play a game. She got her first birdie on that course, so she's really stoked about it. So I think this year she's going to get a little bit more into it.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it's my that's where I release most of my stuff.
After we talked to Pete, there's a couple other things I want to chat you up about too, but yeah, we got about just enough time to take a break before we get Pete
right.
on. But the spiritual aspect, because I can see that you're a very spiritually minded, oriented person, and I think there's some parallels there that we have going on. But yeah, so everybody, if you are watching and you need plumbing work done at your house, if you are looking for work and you would like to, or you're interested in taking up a trade and learning how to do it and making some money, this is the guy to holler at. Go to luckycloverplumbing.com, get all the info you need.
Shoot me a text.
Yeah.
Yep, that number that you find on there goes straight to this phone right here.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, don't call because he'll be under a house. And
Do not call me. If you leave me a message, I might not get it for like 24 hours. Although pretty soon, starting next week, I have someone else answer my phone, so that's going to help tremendously. But
Yeah, I was going to say that's pretty sweet. Somebody answering your phone.
Yep.
yeah, it's needed, man. Especially with how busy it gets here. I'm telling you.
We should look into that for Music City.
I've
Need a little assistance.
had been needing somebody to answer my phone, dude. But yeah, so we're gonna take off all of our clothes. No, I'm just kidding.
It's
We're
hot
not-
in here.
Pineapple.
We're not gonna do that.
Pineapple.
Yeah,
Safe word.
boom. There it is. We are going to take a quick commercial break and get some coffee. And then we will be right back with PDGA number 41750, the elder statesman of an Arizona disc golf dynasty, Pete Ulibarri. For those who haven't heard me talk about it 10 times, Pete was the TD of the first league I ever played in Show Low, Arizona, and started the whole crazy journey that we're on now. So we're going to talk to him about that. We're going to talk to him about being a 1,000+ rated MP40 competitor. We're going to talk to him about his course design, his promotion, his tournaments that he's running, his other hobbies like RC aircraft and drones, and he's got a really good YouTube channel. You guys, he is a good subscribe on YouTube, so I know you can't tell on the scrolling text, but the link to his YouTube channel will be in the description. So, but yeah, bear with us for a few minutes. We'll come right back and be on with Pete.
See.
Let the bass kick.